One morning, the ground starts shaking, and 29 spaceships park themselves over the biggest cities on Earth. A woman's face the size of a stadium lights up the sky, and she says the words every alien invasion movie taught you to be terrified of. "We come in peace." Her name is Anna. She's beautiful. She's calm. She wants a little water and a common mineral, and in exchange, she'll hand humanity the cure for cancer. The whole planet falls in love, and that's the problem. Because under that perfect human face is reptile skin. The visitors have been hiding among us for years, and the peace is the weapon. This is a show about a mother fighting an alien queen for the soul of her teenage son. Yeah, that's the ride we're going on today. V aired on ABC starting in 2009, a reboot of the cult 80s miniseries about lizards in human suits. 2 seasons, 22 episodes, and then ABC canceled it on one of the most vicious cliffhangers ever put on network television. The kind where the bad guy just wins. Full stop, roll credits, see you never. Once you hear how it ends, you'll understand why people are still angry. The premise is simple and nasty. Aliens arrive promising paradise, and almost everyone buys it, because the alternative is admitting that the nice lady offering you universal healthcare wants to farm you. Our way into all of it is Erica Evans, an FBI counterterrorism agent and a single mom who figures out the truth in week 1 and spends the rest of the series watching her own son get recruited by the enemy. Around her forms a tiny resistance called the Fifth Column. Around them is a planet that thinks they're the crazy ones. Let's get into it. We open on Erica Evans waking up to her whole bedroom shaking, calling for her teenage son Tyler, who is of course not home because he snuck out to a party and is currently in a clinic getting patched up. Across the city, a priest named Jack Landry feels the same tremor in his church. A slick news anchor named Chad Decker is in the shower. A man named Ryan Nichols is buying an engagement ring for his girlfriend Valerie, sweating over whether getting down on one knee is too corny. Ordinary morning. Then the shaking gets violent. An Air Force jet falls out of the sky, and a shadow swallows the entire neighborhood. It's a spaceship, a mile wide, hanging over New York like a second moon. 29 of them, actually. One over every major city on the planet, and every jet that flew up to meet them just lost all power and dropped. Tyler hops on his motorbike and races toward the thing because he is 17, and 17-year-olds run toward the alien ship. Erica fights past a soldier to reach him in the crowd, and then the underside of the mothership lights up, and a woman's face appears, calm as a meditation app. She says her name is Anna. She says her people come in peace. They need water and a mineral that's common on Earth, and in return, they'll share their technology and leave the planet better than they found it. The crowd, which 30 seconds ago was screaming, starts to cheer. That fast. That's the whole show in one shot. A terrified mob deciding to love the thing in the sky because it spoke gently. Father Jack isn't sold. He tells his mentor that rattlesnakes are God's creatures too, and that doesn't make them good for you. Erica isn't sold either, because she's an FBI agent who's been tracking a terror cell stockpiling C4, and the cell didn't go quiet when the ships arrived. It got busy. People prepping for war right as the whole world gets distracted by the light show. That's not a coincidence she likes. Then the threads start pulling. Erica and her partner Dale Maddox raid a hideout and find a crate of C4 and a dead body. A priest gets handed a dying man's confession. A wounded stranger stumbles into Jack's church, tells him the visitors have been here for years and plan to wipe out humanity, then hands him an envelope and collapses. And a resistance meeting gets called, led by a man named Georgie, where a doctor peels back the skin on the back of everyone's neck to check for human skull. Because, Georgie explains, the visitors cloned human flesh over their own reptilian skin. They didn't just arrive, they infiltrated. Business, government, religion, the military, all of it, for decades. And the big arrival was just the final stage. Erica wants proof. Jack hands over the envelope. Photos of visitors living among us, and one of them is Owen Chapman, the exact suspect from Erica's terror case. Her terror cell was a visitor sleeper cell the entire time. And then a floating drone called a Seeker opens fire on the meeting. Agents storm in, and the man who grabs Erica is Dale, her own partner. She knocks him down, peels back the skin on his head, and there's the lizard eye underneath. He chokes her. She stabs him in the gut with a pipe, and Jack drags her out alive. In the same chaos, Ryan Nichols, the guy buying the engagement ring, fights off a visitor to save Georgie and reveals the scales under his own arm. Ryan is a visitor, a defector. He says there are others like him, traitors to Anna who will help, and he's done running. He's in. Meanwhile, Anna does her first television interview, and she picks Chad Decker because Chad is ambitious and pretty and easy to steer. She promises free healthcare for all of humanity. The protesters start to soften. At home, watching her be radiant, Tyler quietly forges his mother's signature on a visitor peace ambassador form. He wants to join them. By the end of the night, Erica and Jack are sitting on a bench deciding to build a resistance, and Tyler is up on the mothership getting fitted for a visitor uniform, while Anna looks down at the city she's already winning. Erica says it best. The visitors are arming themselves with the most dangerous weapon there is: devotion. Cleanup. Erica and Jack watch a visitor shuttle scrub the massacre site, collecting every body so there's no evidence the meeting ever happened. A seeker photographs them and chases them down a pier, and Erica beats it to scrap with a pipe. She tells Jack the new rules: go home, act normal, trust nobody. At the office, Dale is reported missing, which is awkward, since Erica is the reason. She plays it cool, recovers Dale's badge and gun and phone before anyone connects her to the scene, and then does some real detective work. She visits Dale's widow Jocelyn, gets his personal phone records, and matches his secret calls to the exact moments her investigations got tipped off. Dale wasn't just a visitor, he was the leak. Erica then quietly steals the FBI's master list of everyone who ever called in a tip about aliens, because that list is a recruiting pool for the resistance. Chad, sensing his visitor approval numbers are only at 50%, stages a little debate segment to provoke Anna into needing him again. It works. She calls, coldly thanks him, and the leash tightens. Tyler shows up to the visitors in uniform anyway, dragging his friend Brandon along, and when a protester mouths off, Tyler beats him down, which gets him briefly kicked out of the program and gets a visitor girl named Lisa assigned to babysit his rehabilitation. Remember Lisa, she is going to matter more than anyone in this kid's life. There's also the matter of Ryan, who goes looking for an old contact named Angelo to get patched up and to find new recruits. Angelo helps him, then drugs him, then proves he knows exactly who Ryan is by rattling off private details about Valerie. A reminder that everyone in this world has leverage on everyone else. Back home, Valerie writes a fallen picture frame, and a business card slips out. A name, Cyrus, and an address. The first loose thread of the secret life Ryan's been hiding from her. And in the bowels of the mothership, the visitors take a captured human and torture him for resistance names with hallucinations that show you nothing but feel like everything. He gives up nothing. Meanwhile, Dale, the dead mole, gets reanimated on a med table, his head wound healed to a faint scar, because death on this show is frequently a temporary inconvenience. Coronation Day. Anna becomes the first visitor to officially receive a visa, and Lisa right behind her, and Chad reports it like a coronation while protesters scream outside. One of those protesters matters. Her name is Mary Faulkner, and she became an activist after her husband David died when his F-16 crashed during the arrival. She's on a hunger strike, and she's the public face of the doubt Anna needs to erase. Anna handles it the Anna way. A private meeting, a few warm words, and suddenly Mary is on stage publicly reconciling with the woman who runs the ships. Anna doesn't beat her enemies. She hugs them until they're hers. Aboard the mothership, the reanimated Dale is getting his memory rebuilt by a visitor doctor named Joshua. Joshua mentions, almost casually, that Erica's stab wound missed because visitor hearts aren't where human hearts are. File that away. When Dale finally remembers that Erica is the one who attacked him, he's thrilled, right up until Joshua injects him with a needle and kills him for good. Because Joshua, Anna's trusted surgeon, is secretly fifth column. He just murdered a witness to protect Erica. The resistance has a man on the inside, and nobody knows it yet. Down on Earth, Erica gets assigned to protect the visitors from a human assassin, which means she gets a visitor partner and a tour of their secured surveillance floor, where she clocks a man entering a restricted room and memorizes his door code. She stops the assassination, saving Anna's lieutenant Marcus, and then sneaks into that restricted room, where she finds a countdown clock and a live camera feed of herself, hidden inside a visitor jacket. They're filming everyone. And Ryan, meanwhile, hunts down an old visitor contact named Cyrus, hoping to rebuild the resistance, only to learn Cyrus sold out the original fifth column to get back into Anna's good graces. Ryan kills him. The night ends with Erica getting introduced to Ryan as her new ally, and with Lisa, alone with Anna, calling her mother. Anna's babysitter for Tyler is the Queen's own daughter. This was never random. The episode opens on a gut punch, then rewinds to explain it. 14 hours earlier, the resistance is arguing strategy. Georgie wants to skin a visitor on camera to show the world the truth. Erica wants to be smarter and quieter, and she's getting suspicious of Ryan, who knows a little too much. Ryan, for his part, brings them real intelligence. Anna is about to release a miracle vitamin shot that supposedly prevents cancer and aging, and Ryan knows it's poison wearing a gift's clothing. Here's the trap, and it's a good one. The visitors are lacing the new flu vaccine with a compound called R6. Not the vitamin shot everyone's suspicious of. The flu shot everyone trusts. The resistance realizes humanity will line up by the millions for the safe, boring annual flu jab, and that's the delivery system. So they hit a visitor warehouse to destroy the tainted vaccine stock, find a room of mummified human test subjects along the way, and blow the place. Ryan runs the self-destruct himself, but the cold open. Georgie ambushes one of the V scientists, the man gets a shot off, and Ryan, to protect the secret, has to shoot the scientist dead before he can expose him. The man calls Ryan a traitor and swallows a suicide pill that dissolves him into ash. And Erica, watching all of this, finally puts it together. Ryan is a visitor. Her closest new ally is one of them. 2 more turns before the credits. Inside the medbay, Anna hunts the 5th column traitor on her own staff and demands the guilty one confess or she'll execute an innocent. A visitor named David steps forward, says long live the 5th column, and Joshua, his friend, is handed a scalpel and ordered to skin him alive. We hear the scream, and down on Earth, Valerie, Ryan's pregnant fiancé, has no idea the man she loves is a lizard, or that the thing growing inside her is a hybrid. She just tells him she's pregnant, glowing, while he tries not to fall apart. The episode ends with the camera pulling back from Earth, past the planets, into deep space, to reveal a massive visitor fleet already on its way here. The 29 ships were the welcome party. Jack is bleeding out from a stab wound, courtesy of a visitor assassin sent to clean up loose ends, and Father Travis rushes him to a visitor healing center to save his life, which sounds merciful, until they heal him and then secretly dose him with R6, the same tracking compound. The visitors don't have enemies. They have future patients. Erica survives her own attack from the same bald assassin, kills him in a brawl in her living room, and learns from Ryan how the visitors really operate. They clean up their own messes quietly so the public never sees the violence. Up on the ship, Tyler gets locked into a memory chamber so the visitors can copy his mind. And when Erica comes storming the embassy demanding her son back, Marcus walks her into a room to talk to Tyler. Except it's a hologram. Tyler's still on the ship, and Anna watches Erica realize she's been talking to a ghost of her own kid. 2 threads tighten. Ryan goes to a sympathetic visitor doctor, Leah Perlman, to figure out what R6 actually does and to help Valerie survive a pregnancy that is very much not normal. And the visitors frame an innocent mercenary named Kyle Hobbs for the warehouse bombing, planting his fingerprints, knowing the FBI will chase him. Erica and Ryan get to Hobbs first, tell him he's been set up, and try to recruit him. He's not interested in a cause. There's no money in saving the world, and Hobbs is a man who only does things for money. Chad, meanwhile, goes to a human neurologist for a second opinion on the aneurysm the visitors diagnosed, and the doctor tells him the scans show nothing, and even if it were real, it's the kind of thing only visitor technology could fix. So Anna has Chad in a perfect trap. She invented a death sentence only she can cure, and she leans on it to strong-arm him into running a glowing piece on the visitor healing centers. Inside the egg chamber, Lisa pores over the memories she copied out of Tyler's head and can't understand why there's so much of it. And Anna explains that human memory is tangled up with emotion, while visitors evolved for cold efficiency. The plan is to peel Tyler away from his mother for good and let Lisa fulfill whatever destiny Anna has in mind for her. Ryan finally learns the punchline from Dr. Perlman. The R6 in the flu shots is tagging humans. Every person who got the safe, responsible vaccine is now a marked animal in Anna's herd. And up on the ship, Anna mates with a chosen soldier and then eats him because, she explains, her children need sustenance. She isn't a queen commanding an army. She's the thing the army hatches out of, and she's laying eggs. A suicide bomber takes out part of the Sydney mothership, and Anna decides the resistance has to die before it spreads. The problem is her own kind keep catching feelings. So she has Joshua design an emotion test to sniff out which of her soldiers have gone human. Anyone who feels, fails. Anyone who fails, dies. On the ground, the resistance needs phosphorus from the mothership to keep Valerie's accelerating pregnancy from killing her. So Ryan volunteers to sneak aboard with forged credentials from Hobbs. He gets the phosphorus. He also gets caught, hauled in front of Joshua's emotion test, and flunks it gloriously, which is how Joshua confirms Ryan is one of the good ones. Joshua agrees to broadcast a hidden message to the scattered 5th column. And then Georgie, worried, comes up to the ship after Ryan, kills a guard to cover Ryan's escape, and gets captured doing it. He sacrifices himself so Ryan can run. Before that, though, Joshua drops the detail that recasts the whole war. Anna isn't just leading the visitors, she's birthing them, growing soldiers in those eggs to fill out the thin crews on all 29 ships. And Anna turns the Resistance's victory into theater. When Joshua hijacks her broadcast and the words "John May lives" flash across her giant face for a few seconds, she doesn't panic. She uses it. She announces the Live Aboard program, where lucky humans get to move on to the motherships. And she frames the hack as proof that traitors are hiding among her own people. Then she offers every soldier aboard a choice. Prove your loyalty by swallowing a suicide pill, or be skinned alive as a traitor. Back home, Ryan slips the phosphorus into Valerie's tea while she sleeps, and we see the baby move under her skin. The man is poisoning the woman he loves to keep her alive, and he still can't tell her why. Time to meet the legend. In flashback, we see John May, the very first visitor to rebel against Anna, the founder of the Fifth Column, the name they whisper like scripture, and we learn that the man who hunted him down was Ryan. Years ago, before his own change of heart, Ryan tracked John May, mocked him for going soft, and promised to bring him in. John just told him he'd understand someday. He was right. In the present, the Resistance scrambles to rescue Georgie, who is being tortured aboard the ship by a pain specialist flown in for the job. Georgie holds out, throwing fake names, then real grief, naming his murdered wife and sons, then a daughter named Alex Morgan, who the visitors also killed before she was ever born. Anna watches him break and knows it's only a matter of time. The big personal bomb drops at Joe Evans's country house, where Tyler and Lisa are hiding out. Lisa overhears Joe admit the family's worst secret. Tyler is not Joe's biological son. Years ago, when Tyler ruptured his spleen, the blood test revealed Joe couldn't be the father, and Joe left because he couldn't trust Erica again, even though she was never unfaithful. Lisa, doing exactly what Anna trained her to do, tells Tyler. The kid's whole identity cracks open, and he aims all of it at his mother. And the Resistance finds John May's old house, where a visitor sleeper named Grace is pretending to be family. Erica trips her up with a sports trivia question. Grace blows her cover and her reptile claws, and Hobbs snaps her neck. They recover the communications device John May left behind. Then two final blows. Georgie, knowing he's done, asks Jack for last rites, and Joshua euthanizes him with a lethal injection to spare him more torture. And Valerie, finally suspicious, cracks open Ryan's hidden visitor safe and finds the fake passports and the ultrasound photos of her hybrid baby. She packs a bag and runs. Ryan comes home to an empty apartment and a missing future. Charm Offensive goes global. Anna heads to a United Nations summit in Geneva to gift the world blue energy, clean, limitless power, the kind of present that makes governments stop asking questions. But the UN Secretary General says quietly what nobody important will say loudly. He doesn't think the visitors are just visiting. Back home, the FBI's own task force starts circling the Fifth Column, and Valerie, on the run and terrified of what's growing inside her, decides she can't trust Ryan with any of it. Every wall the Resistance has is getting thinner at the same time, and the visitor with the most to lose is about to do the one thing he spent the whole season running from: tell Valerie the truth. The visitors now have names and addresses of Fifth Column members, which means the Resistance has to burn its own network to protect people. Ryan finally does the thing he should have done seasons ago. He tells Valerie the truth, that he's a visitor, and tries to get her somewhere safe, except one of Anna's soldiers is already tracking them. And Chad Decker, the journalist who keeps telling himself he's playing both sides, lets the visitors remove his aneurysm in their medical bay and films the whole thing for his show. He comes out the other side grateful, loyal, and openly talking about exposing the Fifth Column as terrorists. Anna fixed his brain and bought his soul in the same operation. Hunt is on. Anna scrambles a shuttle full of visitor trackers to find the Resistance, and the Fifth Column has to figure out how to knock it out of the sky. Except Anna gets tipped off, and instead of dodging the attack, she sends an empty decoy shuttle for them to destroy. So the world watches the Fifth Column shoot down what looks like a peaceful visitor craft. She turns their defense into propaganda. Meanwhile, Anna hands Tyler his golden ticket, an invitation to live aboard the mothership, and Lisa, who was supposed to reel him in, makes a surprise confession to him instead, because the girl assigned to manipulate manipulate this boy is starting to actually care about him. And down at the FBI, a new task force forms to hunt fifth column members, with Erica and a sharp agent named Sarita Malik put in charge of it. Erica is now officially leading the manhunt for her own resistance. Remember Malik? The resistance gets a weapon. A scientist named Lawrence Parker once built a compound to fight global warming that turned out to be lethal to marine life and to reptiles, lethal to visitors. Erica needs to find Parker before Anna does, but Anna plays her cruelest card yet. She has her own daughter's legs broken, carves a V into Lisa's face, and dumps her in an alley as bait, then has Lisa name Hobbs and Parker as the attackers. It works. Erica learns Lisa is a visitor and Anna's daughter in the same breath. Joshua heals Lisa's legs and quietly confesses his fifth column loyalty to Erica. So now the resistance knows it has a surgeon on the inside. Erica grabs a sample of Parker's anti-reptile compound just before the FBI hauls him in. Anna, publicly heartbroken over the attack on her daughter, announces the visitors may leave Earth forever, while privately preparing to shut down the planet's radar so her fleet can arrive unseen. And in the background, Ryan, gutted over losing Valerie, ignores the one text that matters. Valerie's water just broke. The Season 1 finale, and it's a massacre of hope. Erica scores a dinner invitation aboard the mothership and uses it to plant a blue energy bomb in Anna's egg chamber. She gets help from the last person you'd expect, Lisa, who has finally turned on her mother after learning Anna's plans for Tyler. Lisa hands Erica the bomb and the directions, and Erica destroys nearly all of Anna's eggs and barely escapes the ship. For one shining minute, the resistance wins. Then the bill comes due. Furious, Anna triggers Phase 2 of the visitor plan early, out of pure revenge, and turns the sky over the entire planet blood red. As it happens, she feels something she's never felt, and she turns to Marcus and asks what's happening to her. He tells her she's feeling her first human emotion. The emotion is rage. The thing that makes Anna most dangerous is that the war just taught her to hate, and the cruelest beat is the quiet one. Aboard the ship, Valerie gives birth to her and Ryan's hybrid daughter, and the moment the baby is delivered, Anna kills Valerie with a lethal injection and takes the child. Ryan went through the entire season trying to save the woman he loved and lost her and his daughter in the same minute to the same queen. So here's where we stand at the halfway mark. The visitors are reptiles in human skin who have been infiltrating Earth for decades, and the big arrival was only their final move. Anna runs 29 motherships. She breeds soldiers from eggs. She keeps her own kind obedient with a mind-altering gift called bliss, and she's quietly tagging the human population with R6 hidden in flu shots. The resistance is tiny. Erica Evans, leading the FBI manhunt against her own cause. Father Jack, the priest who can't stop believing in people. Ryan, a visitor defector who just lost everything. Hobbs, a mercenary who fights for cash, and Joshua, Anna's own surgeon, secretly fifth column. They destroyed Anna's eggs, which should have crippled her, except it only made her angry. And now the sky is red. The radar's about to go dark. A second fleet is inbound, and the queen of the visitors just discovered the one thing more frightening than a creature with no feelings. A creature learning to want revenge, and we've still got an entire season to go. We open inside Erica's nightmare. The whole city dead. Tyler's face melting in her arms. Anna promising she only wanted vengeance. Then Erica wakes up because it was a vision of where this is all heading, and the real world is bad enough. The red sky has the planet panicking. Anna's own ship captains are whispering that the rage is making her sloppy, so she drags one who badmouthed her into a room, slices his human skin open, and reminds them all of the reptile underneath. She is not losing this fleet to a rumor. Ryan sneaks back aboard to steal his hybrid daughter and gets caught, and Anna, almost amused, just sends him back to Earth and keeps the baby. The fifth column doesn't trust that Anna let him walk. Chad, finally cracking, comes to Father Jack and begs to switch sides for real. And Lisa points Erica toward a scientist named Dr. Watts, whose assistant, a biologist named Sydney Miller, has been hiding an actual visitor skeleton, proof of what they really are. Sydney joins the fight. He's also the one who figures out the truth about the red rain. It's loaded with phosphorus, and the phosphorus is preparing human women to breed with visitors. The miracle weather is a fertility treatment for an invasion. Then the episode ends on the beat that defines the whole season. Anna goes to a chamber holding her 6 surviving soldier babies, the only children she has left after Erica torched the eggs. And because her new human rage is poisoning her judgment, she kills all 6 of them herself. And in the dark, a strange sphere opens, and out steps a visitor we have never seen, Anna's mother. Meet Diana, Anna's mother, the previous queen, Locked in the bottom of the ship for 15 years for the crime of caring about her young, Anna kept her own mother in a dungeon for a decade and a half. Now, Anna needs her, because Anna is infertile after losing her eggs, which means Lisa is suddenly the future of the species, and Anna wants to know how to scrub emotion out of the human equation before the interbreeding starts. Diana tells her the source of all human feeling is the soul, so Anna decides she's going to find the human soul and destroy it. That's the season's villain plan, an alien queen hunting for the soul itself. Down on Earth, it's Valerie's funeral, and her parents can't understand why Ryan seems so hollow and blame him for her death, which, fair. Ryan confesses to Jack that he's terrified he doesn't have a soul, and when they try to pray, all he can feel is Anna's pull on him, because Anna has his daughter, has given the baby human skin, and uses the child as a leash, giving her an illness only Anna can cure, and ordering Ryan back into her service if he ever wants his daughter to live. He agrees. Of course, he agrees. A wave of suicide bombings hits visitor centers worldwide, including one Jack accidentally inspired in the confession booth, and the guilt nearly breaks him. Erica and Hobbs realize Chad is the next target and pull him out in time. And then the reveal. During a fight, Hobbs punches Erica's FBI partner Sarita Malik in the face and knocks out a fang. Malik is a visitor. The agent at Erica's side this whole time is one of Anna's. The episode ends with the two of them in a car chasing a lead, fighting, and the car flips and rolls off the road. If you're enjoying this one, hit subscribe. We cover complete stories like this every single week. Now, about that car wreck. Erica survives the crash and has to win a straight-up brawl against Malik to keep her own secret from reaching Anna. She wins and takes Malik prisoner. Now the Resistance has a live visitor in chains and a moral problem, because the only way to make her talk is to cut her open, and they decide pain is the price of war. Anna, meanwhile, notices Malik's gone missing and sends Ryan to find her. Lisa's body is starting to betray her, her skin flickering scaly green, becoming more and more like the mother she's been ordered to never resemble. Anna runs a test, making Lisa perform a soul extraction experiment on a living human. Certain Lisa's conscience will stop her. Lisa goes through with it and passes, which buys her cover but costs her something you can see in her face. Anna also plays a longer game against Father Jack. She asks Chad to interview him, framing it as giving every side of the debate a fair voice. Jack smells the trap and does it anyway. And right after, during one of his services, a planted heckler starts a brawl. Jack steps in to stop it, and Tyler films the whole thing on his phone to make the priest look like a violent fraud. The fifth column shows Malik's skinned body to Chad to finally prove what the visitors really look like. And the episode ends with Lisa showing up at Erica's door, crying, needing the one adult who might actually help her. A radical wing of the fifth column murders 3 peace ambassadors, and Erica has to hunt down its leader, a former Mossad agent named Eli Cohn, who believes the only way to fight aliens is total war. She also gets a new FBI partner, Chris Balling, who trained with her at Quantico and is exactly sharp enough to become a problem. Anna takes her campaign to the Vatican, trying to get the world's religious leaders to bless the visitors as creatures of peace. And when they hesitate, she blackmails them with the threat of performing public miracles to make their faiths look obsolete. She also finds a sleeper agent hidden among the cardinals, drags him up to the ship to interrogate him about the human soul, and brings him to Diana. Diana, quietly choosing mercy, kills the cardinal herself rather than let Anna torture the answer out of him. Concordia, the next gift. A massive global urban renewal project unveiled at a glittering gala. It's a lie, obviously. We meet Anna's chief engineer, Thomas, the man who designed the Concordia structures, and we learn what they really are. Landing pads for the visitor breeding ships, timed to be ready exactly when the red sky has made Earth's women fertile, so the soldiers can come down and collect their mates. Even Chad starts to wobble here, getting saddled with an openly anti-visitor co-host who needles his loyalty on air. The two resistance factions, Erica's and Eli Cohn's, team up to assassinate Anna at the gala, with Father Jack leading a protest as the distraction. It nearly works, but Anna threatens to strip the bliss from Ryan's daughter, and Ryan flips, tipping her off. Marcus steps in to speak in Anna's place, and Hobbs shoots Marcus in the chest, leaving him barely clinging to life. The fallout scatters everyone. Tyler, splattered with blood from the chaos, finally chooses to stay home with his dad instead of joining the visitor pilot program. Jack gets kicked out of his church for preaching against the visitors. Ryan grovels back to Anna and calls her my queen, and Erica's new partner, Chris, is now fully onto her, ordering a secret investigation into her ties to the fifth column. The walls are closing from inside the FBI now, not just outside it. With Marcus dying, a furious Anna orders Ryan to assassinate Eli Cohn. Ryan sneaks into Cohn's base and gets captured by the very people he came to kill. The visitors track him there, the FBI closes in, and Erica gets deliberately frozen out of the operation because her own colleagues suspect her. She fakes being a hostage to stay inside, and then the visitors run a beautiful evil play. They feed Erica's ex-husband Joe a fake building layout, knowing he'll charge in to save her, and he walks right into the trap and gets captured. Eli Cohn, cornered and certain he won't survive, passes the leadership of the entire fifth column to Erica and introduces her to a trusted aide named John Fierro. Erica and Joe lead the hostages out, but Hobbs, blackmailed by the visitors through a woman named Sarah, triggers the explosives Cohn's people planted. In the firefight, Joe Evans is shot and killed. Tyler arrives just in time to see his father dead on the ground, and because he still doesn't know the truth, he blames the fifth column, screams at his mother, and storms off to the mothership. Erica just inherited an army and lost the father of her son in the same night. And in the dark of the ship, Lisa discovers that Diana, the grandmother she never knew she had, is still alive. Erica flies to Bangkok to meet the international fifth column lieutenants, who don't accept a grieving FBI agent as their new commander just because a dying man said so. She has to earn it. So she goes to Hong Kong, hunting the doctor who oversaw her own pregnancy years ago, Dr. Veena Rai, and breaks into her apartment for answers. Rai turns out to be a visitor and kills herself rather than talk, but the documents she leaves behind crack the case wide open. Tyler is one of 29 breeding candidates, one boy in each of the 29 mothership cities. Erica's son was selected at birth. In Anna's quarters, Tyler's phosphorus levels still aren't high enough, so Anna hedges her bets. She has Joshua line up a backup candidate named Raphael for Lisa, reveals she's secretly saved one final queen egg as a fail-safe in case Lisa turns traitor, and orders Joshua to experiment on Ryan's hybrid daughter. The experiments backfire in a quietly important way. The little girl heals herself of the pain the visitors built into her, which frees her from ever needing Anna's bliss. Lisa, torn between her feelings for Tyler and her grandmother's warnings, can't bring herself to seduce the backup boy, and Anna starts to suspect her daughter's loyalty. With the Hong Kong intel, Erica finally wins over the lieutenants. The resistance has a real leader again. The underground finally goes on offense. The plan is to infect the last group of live aboard humans with a DNA virus that will destroy the visitor breeding samples. So Erica, Hobbs, Jack, and Sydney break into a vaccine lab to steal it. Jack starts to come apart when he realizes the guards they're up against are human, not visitor, and his hesitation gets Hobbs shot, though they all make it out with the virus. Erica plants it in a New York candidate named Will Lerner. It almost works. Candidates start dropping dead from the virus, the visitors realize their DNA is collapsing, and Anna, enraged, simply murders all the carriers and tells the world the fifth column planted suicide bombers among the innocent live aboards. But the plan fails to stop the breeding program, and up on the ship, three huge things happen at once. Ryan, marked for death, finds Joshua and spares him, reminding him that once you've felt human emotion, it never really leaves. Ryan learns he's actually from Diana's brood, not Anna's, and Diana helps Ryan escape in a cloaked pod, then sends Lisa to wake her most trusted follower, a recovering figure in the medbay who turns out to be Marcus, still alive. With the breeding DNA finally complete, Anna injects it into Tyler. The countdown on Erica's son just started. The first blue energy reactor is about to switch on, the one that powers Concordia, except Sydney does the math and realizes the reactor puts out 1 trillion times the power Concordia could ever need, enough to fuel far more than just 29 motherships. It's not a power plant, it's a weapon. The fifth column sends Sydney to sabotage it, not knowing the weapon-grade energy would level everything within 100 miles if they tampered with it. And only a last-second tip from Lisa lets Ryan shut it down in time, blacking out New York but saving it. The real horror this episode is quieter. Anna embraces Ryan's daughter, who has been growth accelerated into an 8-year-old girl now called Amy, and Amy looks up at the alien queen who stole her and calls her mommy. Anna also discovers she can use her bliss on a single human, though it weakens her and makes her eyes bleed, and she orders Joshua to find a way to scale it up to the entire species. Joshua starts remembering his fifth column past. Sydney and Hobbs spot blue energy signatures coming from a whole hidden fleet of cloaked visitor ships in the night sky, and Lisa tells Erica the only move left on the board. Lisa has to overthrow her own mother and become become queen. The student becomes the rebellion. The resistance makes its move on Anna using the only leverage that works: Lisa. They stage Lisa's kidnapping and offer her safety in exchange for Anna's life, betting that when Anna comes to save her daughter, Lisa will pull the trigger. Anna walks into the warehouse in front of a crowd of cops and reporters. The grieving mother, sacrificing herself, turns her back and lets Lisa raise the gun. Then she catches the reflection of the weapon, and without even turning around, she acts. She tells Lisa she loves her, sells it perfectly, and Lisa can't do it. She hides the gun. Erica watches Anna stroll back out alive and knows instantly that everyone they have left up on that ship is now dead. What follows is the worst 10 minutes the Resistance ever has. Diana refuses to go back to her cell and instead addresses the visitors directly, a rousing speech to her children, and for a moment, it looks like she's turning the whole species back toward their humanity. Then Anna's barbed tail punches straight through her mother's stomach. Anna turns to Lisa and says, "That's how you kill your mother." Diana, dying, warns Anna that she's just doomed their entire species. Anna doesn't care. She declares herself queen, orders every visitor in the room to kneel, and they do. Then she throws Lisa in the same dungeon she kept Diana in. It keeps going. Ryan runs to save his daughter and finds Amy fully brainwashed and in love with Anna, and the little girl he spent 2 seasons trying to protect wraps her tail around his neck and chokes the life out of him. Anna's final queen egg hatches, fully grown thanks to the acceleration, and Anna has the new daughter remade to look exactly like Lisa, loaded with Lisa's memories. Tyler walks into Lisa's room, sees what he thinks is his girlfriend, starts asking about the visitor's true nature, and the fake Lisa brushes him off and seduces him. Then she eats him to feed her young, while Anna forces the real Lisa to watch, Erica's son. The boy this entire story has been a tug of war over, gone, and his mother doesn't even know yet. Erica goes to the 5th column headquarters and finds Jack standing alone in an empty room. Hobbs vanished and took everything with him. She tells Jack he was the only one who ever stayed true to his principles. And then her own FBI boss and partner, who'd been monitoring her, grab her and take her a mile underground to a bunker, where a man named Lars Tremont welcomes her to Project Ares, a secret global network of military and intelligence people who've known the truth about the visitors for years. Her FBI friends were in on it the whole time. It's the first real hope in 2 seasons. It arrives exactly 1 minute too late. With the fake Lisa now pregnant, the last thing standing between Anna and total victory is human free will. So Anna tries to bliss the entire planet at once. Her body can't take it. She starts to fail, and then Amy walks in and offers to do it. Because Amy is half human, she can bliss all of humanity without breaking a sweat. And she does. Every person on Earth goes blank and devoted in the same instant, including Father Jack, the one man who never bent. The only humans left with a free mind are the handful buried in the Project Ares bunker. Anna won. The aliens won. The credits roll on a conquered planet. And that's it. That's the end. Not a season finale. The actual end. Because ABC pulled the plug right there. No rescue, no comeback, no Erica leading humanity out of that bunker. Anna blissed the world, ate the heroine's son, killed her own mother, and the show just stopped, frozen at the exact moment the bad guy got everything she ever wanted. If you're feeling cheated right now, congratulations. You understand exactly why fans of this show have spent over a decade quietly furious about it. But here's the thing worth sitting with. V was never really about lizards. It was about how easily a frightened world hands itself over to whoever sounds the calmest, how a good face and a free gift can buy a planet, and how the only people who saw it clearly got branded the terrorists. Erica Evans spent 2 seasons being told she was paranoid for refusing to love the thing in the sky. She was right the entire time. She lost almost everyone she had, and the last image is the world choosing the comfortable lie over her, on a global scale, all at once. It's a bleak ending. It's also, honestly, a little too believable for comfort. So that's the complete story of V. Both seasons, every reveal, all the way down to the cliffhanger they never resolved. If you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of person this channel is for, so subscribe and stick around, because we've got a whole lineup of canceled sci-fi worth finishing. And hey, maybe trust the next species that shows up offering free healthcare a little less. Just a thought. See you in the next one.